The incident involving 3 BJP ministers caused a major outcry in India.
I was wondering whether you were worried by the Vidhan Sauda or the extracurricular activities of our legislators.
Good evening, Bhavna Tur on News 9. We're delighted to have with us today Dinesh Gundurao, MLA leader from the Congress.
I caught out the fact that you were not in India for long because Mobile gave it away, okay, the mobile phone.
Welcome to the News Now at 9. Top stories for the day.
I wasn't very impressed with your correspondent skills because you sounded very read out.
It looked like as if you had mugged up the script, had you?
I'm really nervous.
What Anjali's performance was like, and now it's Sreeja's turn. Let's take a look at Sreeja's clip.
Karnataka ruling party BJP remained remorseless after the 3 trio ministers were arrested and they sought resignation on the floor of the house after the TV cameras were looking onto them, that they were seeking and they were looking at the porn videos in the floor of the house. This has triggered a furor across the state.
The Karnataka ruling party, the BJP, after which remained remorseless, after which the 3 ministers were caught watching the sex scandal in the parliament, that is the Legislative Assembly, while discussing a debate. This has triggered a furor across the state. Now we have the Gandhinagar constituency MLA Gundurao. So let's see what he has got to tell about it. So what do you think about it?
No, it's a disgraceful event. It has brought shame to Karnataka state, and it has brought disgrace to the entire political class. And I think it's a shameful incident, and I think those 3 people should not only have resigned from their post, I think the speaker should have actually disqualified them from being MLAs also.
Okay, so why is this Congress filing an FIR directly against them? Is this a political verdant?
Political?
Verdant? In the sense, like you just, like how it happens with politicians, like blaming.
No. We have not filed any FIR. I think it's private individuals who've done it. It's not the Congress party which has gone and filed. A lot of citizens have filed, I think.
Good evening. I'm Sreeja. Welcome to the special news bulletin. 2 CRPF booty-based cheated for the insurance advisor in bribery case. 2 senior medical officers of the Central Reserve Police for the Force and Advisory were charge-sheeted by the Central Bureau of Investigation Pune unit on Tuesday in an allegedly bribery case.
Well, we saw what Sreeja's performance was like. Sreeja, step forward. All your 3 clips, you looked very confused. Why?
Well, the first shot which I gave, it was like, in the beginning I started off well. And later it was like the mic setting, and then I had to stop. After that, in the third clip, again there was the teleprompter. Yeah, those were the mistakes.
Are you happy with your performance, given the other 3 performances that you've just seen?
I can tell that I've given it a best shot. I've just tried imitating as much as possible, like how the real anchors and the correspondents do. So I feel I've done it.
Well, step forward. Let's see if your best was good enough for the judges or not. Over to you.
Sreeja, my view is that, you seem very relaxed at this point of time in front of these 3 terrible judges. But the point is, in front of the camera.
Harish, by the way.
Yeah, including I said 3. Okay. So if you really look at it, in front of the camera, you seem to be very tense. You seem to be frowning into the camera. So either you had the sun falling into your eyes, which is a wrong way to take a shot in the first place, or you wanted to look intense because the subject was intense. But you look too intense, you look too involved, you were frowning a bit too much. And I think that spoiled that particular shot. And in the interview with Dinesh, I think you faltered on your pronunciation, your enunciation, and you made him ask, what? And that mustn't happen. A person mustn't ask. So I think those were some of the key issues that I saw. And of course, in the news reading clip, I saw your hand placed there. It was unique. It was a different way of doing it, maybe.
Thank you.
Yeah, basically, I just feel you've got to work on your diction. and your pronunciation, like, you know, exactly, just because the
Yeah,
syllables are,
it was the slip of my tongue, and I really couldn't get it after that. Yeah.
No, I mean, as in, like, say a word like bulletin.
Yeah.
You said bulletin, bulletin. And what I mean is just
Yes. Yeah, I
the
get
right
it.
pronunciation of the words itself.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Thank you.
You know, somewhere I think we should really be thankful to Dinesh also for being so cooperative. Same questions being asked in different styles by different people and coming up with the same answers. It's the BJP, mind you, they are the ones, they are the offenders. No, but on a serious note, she is the youngest contestant that we have over here, and for a youngster, I think you have learned a lot, you have experienced a lot in these many days. Some things which you really need to correct right now, your pronunciations are all over the place. It's vendetta, political vendetta.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were also confused, you left him also confused.
Yeah,
he was kind enough to actually answer that question without grilling you further. So you really need to be very particular about your pronunciations. Yeah? And also clarity of thought is one thing which was missing in your case. At the beginning, when you were being a correspondent, you were all over the place. You look fabulous on camera. You look very, very convincing. You have that appeal about you which people would sit and take notice of. Yeah, but what you need to do is you need to get more clarity. That will happen over a period of time. You're still very young. As you go along, I'm sure you'll be much more experienced. Yeah, but good job all in all.
Thank you.
Well, we saw what Sreeja's performance was like. Up next, we have Archana. Let's take a look at her clips.
The porn scandal, which rocked the Karnataka State Assembly recently on Wednesday, has got opposition Congress and Janata Dal opposition members seeking for dissemination and disqualification of 3 ministers who were ex-BJP ministers of the House. What followed after that was Chief Minister Sadananda Gowda saying that he wants to disqualify and disseminate the 3 members who were caught watching sleazy video clippings on their telephones.
Today we have with us the young, talented and dynamic MLA from Gandhinagar, who has won 3 consecutive times from the same constituency, Mr. Dinesh Gundura, who is also part of the Indian Congress and also the president of the Indian Youth Congress in Karnataka, and is also a member of the Legislative Assembly. A very good evening to you, sir.
Hello.
So Karnataka is no longer a spectator or a stranger to sex scandals involving politicians, exemplified by what happened on Tuesday. So first, your comments on that. So what is your take on it?
Yeah, I mean, it is shown Karnataka in a very poor light, and it has disgraced our state and the political class also. So it is a very shameful incident.
Good evening, Bengaluru. I'm Archana Suresh, and we're going to discuss the top 5 stories that have made headlines pertaining to politics in the past week. First up, Greece's crucial euro bailout was in limbo Thursday after political leaders failed to accept the entire batch of new austerity measures that are demanded by creditors but have fueled outrage in the recession-hit country.
Well, we saw what Archana's performance was like. Archana, please step forth. So comparatively, what did you think of your performance?
Well, the first one I could have certainly done better. I fumbled quite a bit. But then I think the second and third one I managed.
So
decently.
You're okay with your choice, politics, you're content with what you put forth?
Well, I had a choice between politics and sports, and I thought politics was better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see what the judges thought of your performance. Over to you.
Well, I think you have a good TV persona in terms of the ability to sit out there and do that questioning, to really speak out from the field and stuff like that. But I would have wanted you not to eat up some words, because, enunciation and voice throw are 2 things which are extremely critical and important for the anchor to have. So I found that missing. I also found the fact that there's something called the funnel of news. You always, when you deliver content, you really take the big piece and give it out first and then go to the sundry others. But I didn't find that because, they were in your news, in your reporting from Vidhan Sauda, the content was all over. So a little bit of organization there was definitely required.
Thank you.
Yes, I would say pleasing persona, like he said, but the words that, especially the first one, it was so much of repetition. I mean, we have listened to you previously and you have a whole repertoire of words actually happening, and I couldn't fathom why it was all over the, getting mixed up, and you were, the Congress minister along with this minister sat watching this video along with it. Just, I mean, the repetition, and then occasionally in the the last clipping, you kind of lost me. It was so, it was a very monotone kind of voice, and you were so still from here downwards. I don't know, maybe probably if you had your hands up or something, it was just like, you know, so yeah, no movement, but otherwise really beautiful to look at, and just a little more liveliness in the voice, and a little more buoyancy, you know, to keep the reader glued. It's not enough to just look gorgeous, and you do.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
I'll keep all that in mind.
There's a certain personality that you have which reflects good on air, which comes across in a pleasing manner on air. Couple of things: you're too fast in your own style, the way you say American president, too fast, so you're a little fast. You need to cut down on that, cut down on your pace. One more thing which I noticed about you is that you've got an excellent vocabulary in English. It's good to have a great vocabulary, but don't flaunt it off on television. Television has to be as simple as possible. And one more thing which she pointed out, but I possibly believe that because you're more keen towards business news rather than politics and all that, and that is the reason why you spoke about the other stuff and then you came to politics later. There was an issue with your rundown. What was more important should have come first instead of coming last. So that is one thing which you need to address. Yeah?
Sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is probably the most shameful incident in the history of Indian politics.
Your questions must never offer answers. A question should purely be a question.
Wiz presents hot deal offers, 0% EMI on all brands of cameras and lots of guarantee gifts to be won. Call 9845140956.
Presenting Smoothly!
भाई स्मूथली सुन, सीरियसली बाइक की राइड अगर बनानी है स्मूथ तो भरोसा करो सिर्फ वाल्वोलिन इंजन ऑयल पर। ये इंजन को रखे हेल्दी ताकि आप और आपकी बाइक चले स्मूथली।
Denver deodorant, stay cool. Denver deodorant, stay cool.
21 days ago, we dared people satisfied with just brushing to take the rinse test.
Germ Stainer reveals germs left behind even after brushing as red stains.
But I brush twice a day.
That's impossible. And this was the challenge.
To use 20 ml Listerine twice a day for 21 days and feel the difference in the whole mouth.
I feel 100% clean.
Don't feel the benefits? Get your money back. Listerine mouthwash.
Now we have the last candidate who picked politics. We now have Shruti coming forth. Let's take a look at her clips.
This is probably the most shameful incident in the history of Indian politics. 3 BJP ministers of Karnataka, one is C.C. Patil, who is the Minister for Welfare of Women and Children in Karnataka, and Savadi, who is a Corporation Minister, and the other one were caught watching a pornographic video right inside the Legislative Assembly. What a shame.
This is the 45th month of the BJP rule, and around 11 to 12 ministers have been either caught in a scam or a scandal. So what do you think is the credibility of the BJP government here?
Well, you only said it in your question, I think. There is no credibility left. No, so much of things have happened that I'm sure that there's nothing left for them to, give any explanation. And they've also accepted it that they have no credibility left, and they've become thick-skinned about it now. So, it's an all-time low.
Sadly, there's a lot of unethical stuff happening. Okay, the second question is, a lot of our national leaders have condemned the incident, but our CM Sadananda Gowda has other things to say. He said their conduct, the 3 ministers' conduct was just perfect. So what is your take?
So like I said, they become so thick-skinned now that nothing seems to affect them.
Home Minister P. Chidambaram breathes free after the court rejects the plea against him filed by Subramaniam Swamy in the 2G Spectrum scam case. Tamil Nadu CM Jayalalitha sends another letter in anger to the Prime Minister regarding the Mulla Periyar Dam case. B.V. Acharya, Karnataka Advocate General, resigns his post due to pressure from the government. Rahul Gandhi gives a massive campaign during the UP elections. Now news in detail.
So can we have Shruti step forward, please? So are you happy with your performance?
Okay, firstly I would like to congratulate my peers. Very good job. It's a tough competition.
Yeah. So is that the answer? You think they were better
All
than
right,
you?
coming back, yes, of course.
Yeah? You sure?
Compared to my reporting skills, yes.
Where do you think you went wrong?
Reporting. I was too slow.
Only that?
Mainly that.
Mainly that. Okay, let's see what the judges think about you.
Hello, sir.
I have just two things. One is to say that, I think it was slow, which you yourself said. The second thing was, I think you expressed your contempt by saying the other one. In many ways that was funny. But the important thing is, I don't think in your interviewing skills particularly, your questions must never offer answers. A question should purely be a question, and the question must not be loaded with answers. Guiding an answer is not a great thing to do. So I think that's where you missed out.
Yeah, the pauses in the beginning, lots and lots of them. It's not about going slow, it's not about reporting slow, it's about even on top of that the pauses in between. But yeah, the third segment, I liked it. I liked the way you moved. Occasionally doing this to the camera wasn't a really good idea, but I liked the other part, when you were like this and then you moved back and, it kept us intrigued. I really liked the third segment a lot, so good job.
Possibly I know you slightly better than the rest of the judges, and I feel that you have a spunk in you. You're very spunky. You are a tomboy, whether you agree or not. The way you walk, the way you face the camera, the way you talk and all, it has got some attitude, which is appealing to a certain extent. As in, I would like if somebody comes and talks like, whoever it is, be it the chief minister, I don't really care. You guys are wrong and you better be wrong. Your reporting skills were all over the place if I look at the larger picture. But if I treat every individual statement independently, I think they were very impactful. If I even compare it to the rest of the gang also, there is some casualness about you which you need to get rid of. Yeah, as in, even when you talk, even when you walk, and the way you were like looking at the microphone as if, yeah, who cares? I'm just supposed to do a piece to camera. It doesn't reflect. Your body language gives out the fact that you're very casual about things, which is not the case. So somewhere you need to contain that.
I'll work on it. I'll
Yeah?
try to be professional.
But continue being a tomboy. We like it that way.
Okay.
Walk back to your seat. Everyone please concentrate, see how she walks. And tell me if she's a tomboy or not. Are you happy with the kind of contestants that you saw so far?
Yes, really surprised and very intrigued also. Each one of them have brought, part of their personality to it, and it's just amazing to see the differences and, the different accents, even among just the 6 of them. It was amazing.
Harish, you have grown up in Bengaluru. You are very much a Namma boy, if I can call you like that.
Absolutely.
Are you happy that your compatriots or your state mates are doing so well? They're speaking so well?
Let me correct you. Namma old boy.
Namma old boy.
Okay. Though I don't feel old. Okay. But if you really look at it, I think quality and standards that I've just seen in the politics round is excellent. And I'm really not surprised because, the country is actually, the median age of the country is 25. And at this contest, we have contestants starting from age 20 upwards.
Right.
And this is real India. 54% of the population is below 25 in this country. And this part of the population is doing exceedingly well. They're completely well endowed in their skills, in their language skills, in their confidence skills, etc. And I've seen that coming through. Yes, there are bits and pieces here which are missing, which is possibly diction at some point of time, correcting posture, etc. But otherwise, I think the quality is excellent.
Something that you need to take out of their books or leave out of their books, look at the way he gives out all those stats and all. These are the numbers, so many % people are youngsters, this, that, everything. He's well read, he's well informed, and it always helps while you're talking. Well, with that, it's time for us to slip into a short break. These were the contestants who took politics as their favorite subject, or in fact, politics was imposed on a few of them. We'll slip into a short break. On the other side, we'll figure out how the others fare as far as entertainment and sports are concerned. You're watching Samsung Galaxy Y presents News9 Media Stars, South India's biggest anchor hunt show, powered by Sandhi Sudha Oil. We'll be back in a short while.
There's a big change between the persona on the screen and the persona here.
It was such a pleasure to listen to you, to watch you. It was so calming.
Wiz presents hot deal offers, 0% EMI on all brands of cameras and lots of guarantee gifts to be won. Call 9845140956.
This farm googly. Taste mein hai twist. Denver deodorant. Stay cool.
Mohan and Samara have 3 beautiful cubs. These striped predators live in harmony with us. Come join us as we take you to the Tiger's Island. Awesome Possum.
We're done with all the candidates who chose politics as their topic. Now we're on to sports, where ironically many of them happen to be those people who did not choose sports but were given sports without any option. And first up we have Sandeep. Let's take a look at his clips.
Hello and welcome to Thunder Down Under with me, Sandeep. This is your daily dose of cricket from the ongoing Commonwealth Bank series in Australia. The Indian team, which is not having a particularly good time in Australia, recorded their first victory in the Tri-Series against their South Asian opponents, Sri Lanka. After being convincingly beaten in the first one-day against Australia, the Indian team had to pull up their socks and put up a better show against Sri Lanka. After winning the toss and electing to bat, Sri Lanka could notch up only 233 for the loss of 8 wickets, mainly due to some very tight bowling by the Indians. Hello and welcome to News 9 Cricket with me, Sandeep. This is your daily dose of everything cricket from all across the world. Today I have with me an ex-India cricketer, former India cricketer, a legendary cricketer. He's been one of the best wicket keepers India has ever produced, and he's also a Padma Shri Award winner. We have with us Mr. Syed Kirmani. Sir, thank you so much for sparing.
Yes, my pleasure, Sandeep.
Sir, we've read in the news, it's all over the media. You know, India's had a very poor series in Australia, and many people are calling for the heads of the senior cricketers, Sachin Tendulkar, Rahul Dravid and Laxman. The question is, are the younger generation, the next generation of cricketers, are they ready to fill the void that will be left behind by these cricketers if they do retire?
Well, I suppose it all depends on the youngsters. You just cannot remove the seniors just because they are going through a very bad form, which falls on every individual as well as a team. So this is the best phase that they are facing. That does mean that they have bad or they are gone out of their whatever you may call it.
Right, so if you see the averages are not too good of the youngsters, then they've not played too many test matches as well. You know, Kohli has played just 8 games, Raina's played 15, Rohit Sharma has not yet had a game. Do you think it would be too premature to blood them and then rest the senior players?
Well, Sandeep, you have to give them a chance somewhere down the line. Now already Raina has already been there. Rohit has already been.
Hello and welcome to the weekly sports bulletin right here on News 9 with me, Sandeep. What are the major happenings in the world of sports this week? Well, let's have a look. First, the big news in the Indian cricketing circles. Sahara India Parivar has cut its ties with the BCCI, withdrawing its sponsorship of the Indian team and ownership of the Pune Warriors team. The decision was announced on Saturday morning, an hour before the IPL 2012 auction, which went ahead without any representation from the Pune Warriors.
Well, Sandeep was the first contestant as far as sports was concerned. Step forward. Let's see how you fared in that. What did you personally think of your performance, given by what you've seen before and how confident everybody was in front of the camera?
I've been improving with every experience I've been having here at MediaStar, and I'm pretty happy with the way I've performed, although there are a couple of areas I could have done better at. And yeah, I'm sure with experience I'll only get better. Yeah.
Which one did you think was your best performance out of all the 3 tasks?
I guess it was the first and the third one. Yeah.
You didn't like the interview round?
I liked it, but you know, my personal favorites were the third one. I wish we could have watched it for longer, but I like the way I moved from one piece of news to the other.
And you liked what you did. Let's see if the judges also liked what you did. Over to you.
Right.
Sandeep, I'm personally delighted to see you here. Okay,
Thank you.
There's a big change between the persona on the screen and the persona here. But I think on the screen you're a born anchor. Okay, born anchor. Let me put it that way, because you know I think you were terrific. You were tremendous. You were tremendous. I liked your sedate voice. Okay, I like the maturity that you bring to the table. Not too mature, not too little mature. Both. And I like your hand actions. I like your guidance. I like your skill of questioning. I like everything that I've seen. I mean, I can't think of a single critique on the entire 3 episodes that I've seen, except for maybe when you were interviewing Kiri, you know, maybe you should have dressed not in a blazer. Maybe you could have been dressed down a bit. Okay, because that seemed a corporate type interviewing sports type. You know, there are typifications. But you know, that's very minor. Believe it or not, I think I'm very happy to have seen each of these clips. Totally delighted.
I'm very honored with your feedback, so thank you so much.
I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, seeing you earlier on, I thought you were really quiet, and you've really got a bag of tricks in there. And it was such a pleasure to listen to you, to watch you. It was so calming. I wanted to know. I really don't follow sports, but you know, I just needed to listen to you, and a bit on the diction, maybe, you know, the syllables, you know, where you cut, and like you said, legendary, it's legendary. But either way, it's just a few words, like, you know, you've got to work on your diction. And as far as the second one was concerned, when you were interviewing Kirmani, right? The angle that you were sitting at was really uncomfortable. If you could have just angled your chair a little more so that you didn't have to be facing the camera and then holding the mic over like this and, you know, talking like this and kind of looking. But if you just angled your chair a little more, it would have looked comfortable. And yeah, that was, and that's the body angle. And you could, and the last one, you had your hands just like that. And it was like as if they had gone to sleep. But even if you had linked it, you know, and just been a little more relaxed, because your voice, your face, everything was relaxed, but your hands were just there and just doing nothing. So, yeah. But otherwise,
and hopefully because of your face, nobody looked at your face.
Yeah, but I did, because we are supposed to be looking at the whole thing.
Later on in the video, I've
moved a bit. Oh, okay. Then we should have seen a bit
maybe
more.
They have done some bit of a partiality there. They've cut that part wherein you have moved your hands and all.
But otherwise, I think on overall, tremendous. It's such a pleasant surprise. It's awesome. I think
you've made my day. Thank you so much.
Sandeep, since I know your background, I'm not really surprised that you could deliver what you did. Yeah, I knew from the beginning that you have been an RJ, and obviously you're a man with a lot of words. Apart from that, the very fact that cricket is your favorite subject, because that is what you have been choosing right from the beginning. I was pleasantly surprised to know that you were the top scorer when it came to your question answer round, which was excellent. What you did right now was fantastic. There was nothing wrong in that, but now it is time for you to step up and take it to another level. And one more thing, when you're doing an outdoor interview, it's in your hands. The camera person is your toy.
Okay.
So if it is a sports interview, I would rather have you maybe do a walkthrough with Syed Kirmani.
Yeah.
You went to the stadium,
right.
the KSCA grounds.
Right.
There's plenty of space there. Why don't you just take a walk with him? Make it very casual, very informal. You're walking, you're chatting, you're talking about the team and stuff like that. So that would be much more attractive for the viewer, instead of just having two people on the screen sitting and talking to each other, wherein you have got a fantastic backdrop. Right?
Right.
So those are the things that you need to work upon. But otherwise, fantastic.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Crucial situation between Jadeja and Ashwin could have been a very different story.
Syed Kirmani, the subject excited you so much that you became a bubbly interviewer.
Welcome to another edition of the Sports Bulletin.
Your face is not arresting the subject as much as it must.
Welcome Bangaloreans, myself Roshan would be hosting the Thunder Down Under.
You would keep talking and you'd hold it to him, so we'd miss the whole...
It has to be very, very personal to your viewer also, as in they need to connect with you.
Wow! What the Rock is cooking.